doing is pounding wet chunks of bone into the floorboards, so I stop.
My name's George, and these are things that piss me off. People who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Or more specifically, idiots. We've all fucking come across them. People who talk about shit that they think they know about, but it's obviously don't know fucking what they're talking about. They sound like a fucking moron because you know what the fuck they're supposed to be talking about, but in a sense, they're fucking stupid. It's happened all the fucking time. Every fucking where. For example, reviews. Prime example recently is Kick-Ass. If you don't know the source material, don't get the movie, then don't fucking talk about it. I mean, just recently, Ebert, you know about that fucker, went half-cocked about the fucking movie, but obviously he didn't know anything about it. And then recently there was another review I saw who bitched about how bad the movie was, and then when he did a review of the movie, people referenced the comic book, but the guy didn't understand the comic book, he didn't get the comic book. Spend the fucking $20! It's not gonna... Another example, just this morning, I was listening to a talk radio program here in the city of Pittsburgh, Quinn and Rose. They have issues to begin with. They were talking about South Park and how South Park gave in to the terrorists. Matt Stone and Trey Parker did not give in to the fucking terrorists. Comedy Central gave in to the fucking terrorists. They're the ones that fucking censored the episode with Mohammed. Mohammed fucking sucks! Another example that happened to me about 2 months ago was Glenn Beck was talking about Captain America, the Two Americas. There was a group called the Watchdogs. They were conservative terrorists. He took that as attack on him and his group called the Watchdogs. First off, the Watchdogs has been around since the fucking 80s, Glenn. Since the 80s! I think at that time you were drunk. So no, the Watchdogs was not an attack on you. If you don't know what you're fucking talking about, then shut the fuck up! Another one is game opponents. People who obviously never played a video game, but are totally against video games because they have violence. They might warp the children's perspective. A child shouldn't have an M-rated game. That's the parent's responsibility to control that. If a parent gives their kid Grand Theft Auto, they're a bad fucking parent. Stores don't sell games to minors. They sell games to the parents because they card people who look like they're not a minor. My roommate, Joe, gets carded every time he buys an M-rated game. So I'm pretty sure you got little fucking 12-year-olds walking up there, Mr. Cashier, can I buy this M-rated game? No! That's what fucking happened! On Fox, about a year ago, Jeff Keighley was talking to a moron about Mass Effect and how Mass Effect is a bad game because it's got a fucking sex scene. Obviously, she hasn't seen God of War because she was bitching about fucking an alien. Who want a fucking alien anyway? Captain Kirk did. He actually said, he asked her, did you play the game? Why would I do that? Because you're fucking talking about it! Jesus fuck!
What's the fucking last one?
Just recently, California, Monday, went to the Supreme Court saying, we want restrictions on video games. There already are to begin with. Now, they want to make it as illegal to sell to minors as tobacco, pornography, and alcohol. What they're saying is mature-rated video games are the same as a drug or fucking porn! What? I wish there was fucking video game porn! That'd be interactive. Movies are just as bad. You obviously have people who don't know what the fuck they're doing, who don't know how to fucking write the movie based on the material, and they obviously don't have the directors that know the fucking material. Jesus fuck Christ! Look at Resident Evil, and you look at me and tell me that that is fucking Resident Evil. It's not! You want a Resident Evil movie? Watch fucking Resident Evil Degeneration. That movie kicks so much ass. But then you have movies like Transformers. Well, Michael Bay even said he doesn't like Transformers. But Spielberg, I want you to blow shit up. Okay. That's how it went. Then they got writers who was like, oh, we're big fans of Transformers. Yeah, it fucking shows how much you fucking know about Transformers. Obviously, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about because they also fucked up Star Trek. Do not tell me Star Trek was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It looked good. It looked pretty, except for all the fucking lens flares. But it wasn't Star Trek. They took Star Trek and just fucked it right in this fucking asshole. People who don't know what they're fucking talking about, shut up. You annoy the people who know what the fuck is going on. You annoy the people who know shit about the subject. If you don't know anything about the movie, the video game, the comic, then shut the fuck up. You don't see me talking about sports. Why? Because I don't know sports. But I do know that the Pirates fucking suck. Alright, for two guys on the couch, I am George. And that's one thing that pisses me off.
And a low ebb for the Pirates. Yeah. Hara. That's going to be a base hit. Weeks will score. It is 20-0.
And now, a bedtime story with Joe.
Greetings, fine folks of the interwebs. Welcome back to another edition of A Bedtime Story with Joe. Our journey from the epic, amazing novel that is Twilight begins on page 167, where we sit down with our two lovers as they enjoy a meal together. The restaurant wasn't crowded. It was the off-season in Port Angeles. The host was female, and I understood the look in her eyes as she assessed Edward. She welcomed him a little more warmly than necessary. I was surprised by how much that bothered me. She was several inches taller than I, and unnaturally blonde. A table for two. His voice was alluring. Whether he was aiming for that or not, I saw her eyes flutter. To me and then away. Satisfied by my obvious ordinariness. And by the cautious, no-contact space Edward kept between us. She led us to a table big enough for four in the center of the most crowded area in the dining room. I was about to sit, but Edward shook his head at me. Perhaps something more private, he insisted, quietly to the host. I wasn't sure, but it looked like he smoothly handed her a tip. I'd never seen anyone do that, except in old movies. Sure, she sounded as surprised as I was. She turned and led us around a partition to a small ring of booths, all of them empty. How is this? Perfect. He flashed his gleaming smile, dazing her momentarily. She shook her head, blinking. Your server will be right out. She walked away, unsteady. You really shouldn't do that to people, I criticized. It's hardly fair. Do what? Dazzle them like that. She probably is hyperventilating in the kitchen right now. He seemed confused. Well, that has been a page from the tall story of our generation. Twilight, the #1 New York Times bestseller from the most amazing writer that has ever graced this planet, Stephanie Meyer. For two guys on a couch, I am Joe, and this has been A Bedtime Story with me.
The Pittsburgh Pirates have endured 17 straight losing seasons and have not won 70 games since 2004.
You suck, you jackass.